Hi everybody, I hope that you guys are doing well. If you're new, welcome to the channel. My name is Gabriella. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I was seeing some stuff in the pre-shuffle about wanting to make sure that you're really listening to your needs, following that, showing up for yourself, knowing that when you're doing that, it is also allowing for more prosperous relationships and commitments and things like that, because you can be more present, happier to be there in whatever it is that you're participating in. Okay, so we're starting off with, hold on, I'm smelling, it smells like a fresh or like a clean scent. Like it reminds me of like laundry when it finishes. Like fresh laundry, like that type of smell, or like clean linen, something like that. Okay, so we're starting off with the Ace of Cups and the Death card. There can be something that you are focusing your energy on, something that you are channeling your energy into. You may be kind of exploring a new ability of yours. So the Ace of Cups is a very multifaceted card. It talks about our connection that we feel with ourselves. It speaks about the connection that we feel with other people. It can speak about what we are connected to, what source we're connected to, where we're channeling our energy from. I also see the Ace of Cups as being like gifts and abilities that we have. Because it's cup energy, because it is water energy, the kinds of gifts that come with that are things that are like more esoteric, like a healing nature, soothing nature, therapy, things like that. Any type of artistry. It's a very artistic, creative type of energy. And it's something that comes from the connections that you feel. It's something that you're like sentimentally, emotionally, energetically connected with. And to have the Death card here, which is like an additional water card with Scorpio, this speaks about potentially using the connections that you have, the gifts, the abilities that you have, tapping into them, using them, exploring them, and maybe utilizing them in a different way than you had been before. So this is an exploratory period. Remember too that it doesn't just have to be with what you're doing within your life as far as like a career or an activity. This can be a new type of connection that you're exploring, a new type of connection with yourself. It can be a new type of connection with another person. Something that you feel passionately about, and maybe that's what you're doing right now. The Death card too can be a bit intimidating because it's like, we're about to go in a cycle. I don't really know where I'm going to land when I come out on the other side of this, and there may be some shedding that I need to do of like the things that I feel safe and secure within. However, at the same time, I feel like that's going to be worth it to me. With Scorpio, really with any archetype of energy, it's good to like also think about what the like opposite sort of energy can be. So the thing with Scorpio is that it is about like shedding safety and security, but jumping into something new and exploring and allowing yourself to expand through new experiences, even if you're stepping outside of your comfort zone. The opposite energy of this would be Taurus. That's on the access point. And Taurus is all about gaining security and feeling safe with what you're doing and building a sense of stability. And it's kind of about collecting sort of energy. With Scorpio, it's all about shedding all of those things. So there may have been something that you could have been like building towards, and now you're in a spot where you're like, maybe I'm going to let go of all of this stuff, or maybe there's something that I've been doing that brought me a sense of security, and now I'm going to be trying this other thing over here. And the thing with Scorpio is that sometimes it can feel intimidating. It means we're like getting outside of the habits that we feel comfortable with. But in order to explore like more depth and more intensity, and to cut through and really understand the catalyst and what's behind something and what's underneath all of that, It's like digging things up and taking things apart as well. Two of Cups. Your relationship with yourself, your relationship with others. I feel there's a sense of getting to know yourself more deeply here. There may also be a really big change that's happening. I feel that this is just as much between you and yourself as it may be between you and another person. There are some very, very big shifts that are going on. It looks like you're in the midst of a transition. It's normal to feel uncomfortable. Absolutely. When we experience like motions with Scorpio, the feeling of it is that like nothing really feels familiar to us because so much is changing and in transition. And when we come out on the other side of it, we're going to feel a sense of renewal. It's like a rebirth when you come out on the other side. But while you're going through it, it can be very, I'm hearing tempestuous. Interesting. Something's definitely being processed right now. In the process of happening, liminal space, currently. The in-between. It does appear that something is deepening. Definitely gaining depth. But you're in a space where you may not be making like heads nor tails of this yet. Something is definitely not clear yet. It's going to be. It just may not feel clear right now. Something may be kind of confusing or abstract, ambiguous. I'm hearing it's because it's in the developmental phase. And so you're kind of working with something that may be feeling hard to grasp right now. As I said before, this is very temporary. You're going to be getting clarity quite shortly with the Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. This means like a sense of truth is going to pierce through. You're going to like get information or have an experience that sort of elucidates things for you. Whatever this was that had been unclear before. For some of you too, this was about like how you were feeling about what it is that's been going on and trying to move through a situation that doesn't feel completely defined for you. I was also hearing the word finite. With the Seven of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups, sevens are always like luck, chance, destiny, fate. We don't really know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. It can go this way, it can go that way, and you kind of have to wait till you get to the end. And it reminds me of those chocolate eggs with things inside of it, and you don't know what's inside of it until you crack it open. Is that a Kinder egg? That's the name that's coming through. Kinder, something like that. There is the opportunity to like get defensive and aggressive because something is feeling quite uncomfortable, but you also don't have to lean into that. I'm seeing something coming up. I'm hearing the word tempestuous again. Feels like a tempest. sort of energy where something is kind of like rising up or bubbling up and you're like, I feel conflicted. Am I supposed to fight right now? Like, kind of, are we in fight or flight mode because everything is changing and I feel unstable? And that may be your go-to. Like, me getting my weapon out to be ready to fight this change that's happening because I don't know if this is going to like help me or hurt me. And so like on the guard, on the ready. So you may be feeling a bit like vigilant is the feeling. As I said before, it seems like this is coming up because you're in a space where something is like unclear, especially emotionally, which it seems like it may be disorienting you a bit right now. However, at the same time, like, you don't need to allow that to affect what you're doing. You can experience the whole rainbow of emotions, the whole spectrum of emotions that you're experiencing, and you don't need to act out because of it. You can choose to just sit with it and be like, things are unclear right now. And as much as it would be more convenient for them to be clear, they're not. Things are going to clear up when they are meant to, and I don't need to become like aggressive or argumentative. This is like a square energy. It's like feeling a sense of conflict because it's like, well, are we standing here on this side or are we standing over here on this side? And it can be hard because you're in that, again, like liminal space that you're feeling where it's like, well, which side am I on here? And I'm feeling that I'm struggling because of this. And you may feel in certain ways like you're kind of being torn apart. There could be a close relationship that you have where there's this like sense of being torn apart, but it is because of the undertaking that's happening currently with Scorpio, with the Pluto energy. So yeah, I wouldn't put myself into any frisky situations, because it seems like you already have a lot going on and it's hard to kind of find your footing. So entering into any situation that would be like pressing you even more, it does not seem like the best idea for the space that you're in currently, which is definitely something to be mindful of. If somebody's asking something of you that you feel is pressuring you, and you already feel like you're at capacity, it may be time to step up and advocate for yourself. If you're pressuring yourself, maybe time to check in and see why that is, why that's going on, and where this friction is really coming from. Also, too, it does seem like there's an opportunity to address something, but whatever this is, it's not going to rest until it is addressed. So if there's something that you've been avoiding, this is definitely the time to confront it. If something has been looming, okay? I was seeing the Five of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Maybe something didn't go as you had expected it to. Things are about to calm down. This tension, this conflict that you've been feeling, that you've been experiencing, both within yourself and also with another person for some of you, this is going to be calming down. You're not like all the way out of the woods yet, but I'm seeing you getting close to the edge. For some of you, this has to do with your career. For others of you, this can be a partner. I'm also hearing facilitating responsibilities. Yeah, what it looks like to me is that rather than moving into like the fire, the more tumultuous energy, where like this energy can be more excitable, but it can be like kind of ungrounded sometimes and like hard to control. I'm seeing you move more into an earth energy, which means like thinking about your responsibilities. You could be like making some sort of schedule for yourself, doing the things that need to get done, and also like fulfilling your duties and your roles and leaning into that. it's just like this with fire energy, which all of us have fire in our charts, all of us have earth. With the fire energy, like, you know, when a fire needs to be put out, you throw sand on it. Sand is earth. And so, like, you leaning more into the earth energy can kind of, like, control that, like, volatile thing that you're feeling at times that may feel chaotic when it's coming up. It's about transmuting the energy by finding, like, some type of stability within your life and, like, leaning into those responsibilities. It's kind of like, I don't know what else to do besides, like, feed the dog or go to work or, like, whatever this is for you, go to the gym. Which physical exercise also helps with, like, fire energy, like conflict and things like that too. So whatever this is that you're doing for yourself, it's helping you kind of, like, organize and settle down. There could have definitely been, like, a confrontational energy where you could have... I'm seeing, like, the death card come through and be like, do you want to fight? But it looks like you weren't in this space to really be into that. Whatever this was that was going on. So I'm seeing you actually move away from a situation rather than engage in it, and feel like this is a better way to find the peace that you are looking for. Okay, so now is the point where you're kind of feeling this responsibility to take action, to initiate something, but I'm seeing something still be unclear emotionally for you. So something is, like, confusing or not straightforward in relation to, like, how you're feeling, even what you're picking up on. And so I'm seeing it's going to be, like, difficult to maneuver, not impossible, but just difficult. It's kind of like trying to steer a ship when there's a bunch of fog around you. It can be done, but it's kind of risky to be moving around there without having, like, a clear vision of where it is that you're going. But the fog is going to lift. And you may be in a spot too where it's like, well, I have to keep moving. I can't really stop. Not all of us, like, have the, depending on the situation you're in, you may be in a spot where you're like, it's not an option to stop. I have to keep going. And so, as I said before, you may be taking a bit of a risk by doing this because you can't really see where you're going. However, at the same time, I'm seeing you be like, well, I'll pay close attention and try to assess what's going on as closely as I can, and just, if something happens, it is what it is. You know, it was a risk that I took by doing this. Yeah. This looks like how you're going to be doing what it is that you're doing. Finding the best way to ease the tension and to adjust to just, like, an unclear period in general is what I'm seeing here. And it's really the most that you can do in a situation, you know? And also remembering too that this is temporary as well. Things aren't going to be unclear like this forever. It just seems like this stretch of the journey right now may be a little bit touch and go for the time being. But I'm seeing this as, like, part of the marathon, we can call it, okay? I'm looking at Scorpio and Sagittarius. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.